Hello again to this new video on the Courses tab. So we're going to go to my site administration, then Courses, and then we're going to have a quick look at Courses, default settings, groups, activity chooser, and backups. So let's start with manage courses and categories. Here we are able to see the courses that are currently on my MAMP. And then we can decide what to do with them. We can create a new course, we can move them up or down on how they appear. And we also have, for example, we can choose a course and then we can add it to a particular place. If we go back to courses, we can look at a category. So in this case, we have to define the category. We can choose and then add the category name, number, and a description. Then the next one down is adding a new course. And for example, here in this case, we just need to add the course full name, a short name, a category, so where it is that it belongs to, when it starts, if enabled, so when does it finish? Is it a year? Is it 6 months? It depends. A course ID number if necessary, a description, a course image for the course format. Something interesting here is that the custom sections, here we have only 3 possibilities: custom sections, weekly sections, and single activity, while on NAP there's also one topic possibility, and I don't understand why. So this is for you, Nelly, to see why we can only see 3 here, but we can see here on NAP we can see basically one topic format. Right, so let's go back to our courses tab. And the next one down is restore a course. This one would be very important, especially for bigger courses, I think, because once you finish a course, you want to clean it up and then restore it if you have a backup file of that course. You need to add it here, drag it, and then restore it. Usually restoring a course takes a little bit of time, especially depending on how big the course is. If we go back to courses, then we have download course content. So here we can either allow it or not. By default is not. Download course content feature available. So if we want people to be able to download content, we can tick it, and if not, then just we tick it off. Going back to courses, we can see course request. This one I'm not 100% sure how it works, but apparently we can request courses, enable course requests. So if you tick it off there, tick it on, and then default category, where in this case the MAMP only has that category, then prevent category selection, and then course request notification. So who receives that notification if there's a course request? We then have upload courses. This would be very useful, I imagine, once you have a course ready and then you want to upload it directly onto the Moodle. So you basically have that there. Moving on, we have default settings, course default settings. We can see that it is visible, that it does not enable download course content, and the number of participants per page. So the default is 20. Then the course format, here again, as I mentioned before, there's only these 3, but the one topic format is missing. We have maximum number of sections. Number of sections by default, here is 10. By default, the default is 4. Hidden sections. It says how the hidden sections in the course are displayed to students. So hidden completely, and then we reveal them. For example, where in the course I used to work on, we had the weekly sections hidden and they were revealed at the beginning of every week to keep people going at the same pace, basically. Then we have appearance, and you can force language. Here it says do not force. Number of announcements, grade book, show grade book to students, show activity reports, show activity dates, then the files and uploads maximum. Here you can choose. Obviously, it depends on the storage limit that you have. Completion tracking, whether you want them to be able to see it or not, and show activity completion conditions, which is important for courses where you have set tasks where they have to complete it before they move on. Groups, no groups, and communication. So if any changes are made, then you need to save the changes. If we go back to courses, then we have course custom fields. Then obviously you need to add a new category if that is the case. We then move on to the activity chooser. And for the settings, you would have this one. The activity chooser can support plugins that add items to the footer. I think the most important one for me right now in activity chooser would be recommended activities, because then you can choose all the different activities you want to include in your Moodle. So assignment, book, choice, database, file, folder, forum, glossary, H5P, IMS, content package, lesson page, quiz, scorn package, subsection, text and media, URL, wiki, workshop. I think they're all very useful if we want to make sure that the course has a variety of activities and it is appealing. And then looking at backups, general backup defaults, very useful, because obviously if you have different courses running at the same time and depending on storage, because I'm very aware of that, I remember this from my previous experience, then you would like to check the general backup settings. I think this is very, very important for big cohorts. And it is important that we backup courses to some extent, general import defaults, because you want to make sure that all the information is there, and you don't want a course to disappear because of a problem, especially if you're working with a company that sponsors employees and that they need that information, especially if they're being sponsored by national or local government funding. So they need that as evidence of the work done. General import default. So when you import a course, so in this case, you have maximum number of courses listed for import. General settings, I think important for me here too would be to include batches, although here it says no, but I think it would be important because I think that they're a nice way of encouraging engagement with students. Going back to courses, then we have automated backup setup. This might be important if you have different courses, I think, and then you can schedule it so that it is done automatically. Here is disabled, but you can schedule when it is to be done and at what time and where it goes, so where the backup goes in terms of storage. So I think that is important. Automated backup settings, so including basically everything, include logs, histories, not, but everything else, yes, just in case anything happens. Then you have general restore defaults, and basically this is when you restore a course, what do you want it to restore? So basically in this case, everything other than restore defaults when merging into another course, and override course configuration. So I think that this is important so that whenever you restore it and you already have a course configuration, it doesn't override it. Finally, we have the asynchronous backup restore. And I think that this is important because obviously it can be done while you're doing, or users are doing other things. And as it says here, this provides better user experience. Now, looking at this, which part of the portal do I think I will be using more regularly if I start running courses? Then I would definitely think that it would be adding a new course, most definitely restoring a course if I have like a master course and then I use it every time to restore it. Uploading courses, probably not. Default settings, making sure that I check them the very first time around. Then groups, not really. Activity chooser, definitely. I think I would use it very often, depending on the course, and I would choose some activities or not, but most of them. And then the general backups. Okay? Thanks for watching.